Allah, my emotional. Sorry, Nico. Somehow, that is what. Actually, emotion is common for human beings. We don't have emotion, we are not human beings. My absolute fear is, I want to control people around me so they will follow what I want them to be. You also want people what around you to be. Exactly, give me the choice. You have freedom, I have the freedom. We respect the diversity. I respect you, I sit here as a parent.
Alright, no worries. We have a lot of employees and we also have a lot of employers.
Give me the choice.
So okay, thank you, that's fine. Okay, can we pass to the next question, Sean?
Okay, I want to ask, want to comment Nico. I would say that, of course, it's your choice then. If it's your choice, if your mother are happy, then there's no immorality. It's your family or business, none of mine. That's fine.
That's cool, but now...
Oh, okay, you want to ask about the school? It's okay.
Nobody's
Sorry,
questioning your right.
Sorry,
You have the right to choose whoever you want. Nobody's questioning your right.
I didn't answer.
Right to believe whatever.
Okay. He wants me to answer which employee I want to employ. I didn't answer Nico's yet. Okay, it's fine. But when we talk about schools, whether the schools has the right, the same thing goes. If you are in my university, follow the rules. You don't wear the attire as the university asks you to do, don't come here. We are in an institution where we concept and principle, vision and mission. Where you are forcing other people to follow your rules. That is not right, that's not freedom.
Okay, talking about rules, tadi pun there's a question.
As what Nico said, don't step another person forever. Aslan from UIAM. What we cannot about the personality, what we can or we cannot on the personality liberty. I agree with Nico 100%. Once you don't encroach another rights, another person's right, that's your liberty. But once you encroach on my rights, that's my liberty. Because rights always come together, rights and obligation, rights and duty. So it's fine. So just, if you think that that is your personality, then go ahead. That's what you want to be. And Sam was talking about persecution something, but throughout years we have the Penal Code. Dr. Farouk says 7 prosecution, and 4 involved Anwar Ibrahim. It was only 3 prosecutions. Is that an achievement that the law has not been used? And the law has not been rigorously used as what the referendum report in 1957 in England? It's not rigorously abused. But if people say, the last speaker talks, the last comment is from, the problem with enforcement. Is the problem with the law? It's problem with the enforcement. The argument from Mr. Wee, Mr. Farouk also is in the enforcement of the law. Let's repair the enforcement of the law. It's nothing to do with the law that you have to say that whether it's morality or whether immorality. Oh, I forgot to answer as last question. Where is in the Constitution talks about whether this is right, whether this is not right. Constitution is not a penal law. What is right, what's not right, you can find in the Penal Code and other related criminal provisions. But it's not in the Constitution. The Constitution gives you the general rules, what can be, what cannot be. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I'll just answer the last question first. Directed to me, right? Yeah, because I think I disagree to what Dr. Shamraya said just now, that there's nothing wrong with the law, it's only the implementation. If you ask me, I don't know what we would say, but I would say there's something very wrong with the law and very wrong with the implementation, right? Both are wrong, basically. Wrong because, as we had mentioned just now, the law did not discriminate between heterosexual and homosexual, right? And Dr. Shamrayu said that there were 7 cases. I said there were 7 cases since 1938. 4 of them involved Dato' Sri Dr. Anwar Ibrahim. Meaning to say that the laws were not being executed properly. So it was basically a political persecution. So that was why we got only 4 out of 7 since 1938 being used as a political instrument. So it's wrong. So the law itself is wrong, and the implementation itself is wrong. Right? So it's selective persecution by the AG chambers. Sorry that probably they don't have, the AG chamber was not here to defend themselves, but I was told that they were invited but declined to attend.
I have a very, very important comment to make. You can call me Chiwi. If you insist on calling me Mr. whatever, you can call me Mr. Lim if you really must. But otherwise, Chiwi. Okay. Let's talk about selective prosecution. Now, I don't mean to belabor this point, but I come back to how the criminal provision doesn't distinguish between heterosexual and homosexual, and then talks about anal sex and oral sex. Okay. If you remember, a few years ago, a Chinese man was filmed doing something. Was he prosecuted?
No.
Okay, so all right. So that I think adds to what Dato' Farooq said. Again, I'm repeating myself, and probably because I'm a poor speaker. But when you leave this hall, can you break down in your minds the issues? Like I said, the lowest common denominator are members of the LGBT community to continue to be stigmatized, to be humiliated and persecuted. And this situation is a consequence of some of our criminal provisions and the stigmatization. I accept that you can never stop one human being from judging another human being. Yes, you will say that is immoral, so is adultery. You know? And what has happened with the laws on adultery? So ask yourself that very basic question. Don't confuse that with, some of you have talked about same-sex marriage and what you're going to do with your children and all that. Don't confuse that with that very low-lying question. And if you want to talk about morality, of course, no parent naturally anyway would want to see their child being homosexual. But why? Because we ourselves would see the pain that our friends who are in the LGBT community are going through. And that is really what this is all about. You can just start debating this issue at its lowest common denominator first. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lim. I think with that, we have come to the end of our discussion. So everyone has given, every issue has been addressed accordingly, and I think we have answered all questions, if not all, most of the questions, 80% of the questions, and I believe some of the issues that have been playing in your mind are actually addressed. And if you still have issue, I would propose that some of the faculties of Kuliah can organize this kind of event to specifically discuss on whether homosexuality is a condoned deed or not, on the pros and cons of the homosexuality and so on and so forth. Because now here we are in the moot court, we are only discussing whether homosexuality is a crime or right. So thank you, and my apologies for anything, and thank you again.
And on behalf of the panelists, we thank the moderator and you, the audience. Very happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Faisal. He is actually our former president of LawSoc Society. Yes, thank you for being our very today. Now I accept the invite Associate Professor Dr. Farid Sofian, accompanied by Brother Fuad Shazwan, to present token of